It definitely feels really strong. I think that we see Winstrike have drafted themselves more for just lane dominance. That's kind of what I see from like all their heroes. Snapfire, Wraith King, me and you've seen that lane a bunch of times now, how dominant it is. You know, that minus armor, those big crits, the setup, it's great. Tusk plus a ranged hero, usually an off lane, is quite strong. Necro overall is a pretty strong laning hero. And Queen of Pain, hero that used to be all about dominating lanes. So I feel like Winstrike, they really have to come out quick in this laning phase, come out with an advantage. Because other than that, I don't like their draft with what they're up against, to be honest with you, right? That they don't really have these great actual stuns versus that Storm and the Morphling. They have stuns, but they're telegraphed, right? The Snapfire Cookie, the Snowball. The Reaper Scythe, like Owen was saying, I think it actually might have to be used a lot of the times for setup. So we'll see. And also like the Tusk, we'll have to see if he gets good timing on Blink Dagger, because I really do feel like they lack some big forms of initiation. And the team fights, I have to give to Unique once they all start kicking off with Doom and Phoenix, as long as they're careful not to just get little shreddered on the egg.
It sounds very much like Winstrike just has too many pieces that have to fit together exactly perfectly, you know? Whereas Unique, it seems like they can be a little bit more freeform, they've got a little bit more wiggle room, and just wait for, you know, item timings, basically.
Yeah, I do feel like they can just be so patient, because like I just see like Lion and Doom, right? Lion and Doom versus your Queen of Pain and your Necro, two of your cores, they get just super countered. We're gonna see first quick aggression though. Slayer, he's got Fire Spirits leveled. He actually survived.
Yeah, he's fine there. I think they were hoping maybe they could try to bait out something like, you know, the Icarus dive or whatnot, which would be a bit of a disaster for a Phoenix to pick up. But instead, you know, just gonna go walk back, heal up, and then most likely teleport over to that lane.
And we will see how these lanes go. I'm curious to see how they all will be. I really do feel like Winstrike has to play super aggressive. I'm going to be looking at top just every time tag team is up, use it and just start hitting that Morphling. Get yourself good lane positioning, and just it's all going to be about lane focus. Getting a big advantage so that you can actually take fights in the later stages and actually have some forms of control. Because like we're saying, very telegraphed disables. However, let's say Orchid comes out on the Queen of Pain at a good time. That's going to open up the map so much for them to actually shut down a lot of these heroes on the side of Unique. So yeah, laning is really going to be everything, I do feel.
How many deaths is this Queen of Pain allowed to have before she just really starts to fall off and not feel good anymore?
I'll give her 2. Okay. I never like saying 1, because 1, like a slip up sometimes happens here and there. 2, I think might honestly be the limit when you're playing versus just a tough game. You're playing versus Lion and Doom, and you're probably the biggest focus target besides your Necrophos. And it's a hard game for Necro too, just like Kyle was saying. There's so many things that just burn him out. There's so much magical damage, even just a Sunray later on. It's very tough for you to actually stop that Sunray with your limited type of disables to get to the back.
All eyes again on Winstrike to try to make these very aggressive plays early and try to slow down the lanes as well. But currently, right now, the mid lane seems to be going pretty evenly. 11-1 on Storm, 10-1 over on the Queen of Pain. So, you know, it's still very early, and I'm sure, you know, runes will come into play at some point as well.
Yeah, I actually want to see Yamich, as soon as he hits level 2, maybe he gets like a nice little pull-off up top or something. I want to see him rotate mid. I want to see him rotate mid quite a bit, actually. I feel like the Storm can get punished a lot because of this level 2 Shadow Strike that's coming out from Rebel. They can actually set up quite a bit of kills, so eyes on Yamich to see if he does make a rotation, but doesn't want to leave too soon.
Some more pressure.
Slayer.
Place down here. Slayer ticking down. Is he going to be able to get himself out? Yamich, though, burning from all these Fire Spirits. They're actually going to find the first blood there, but can they turn this around? Yes, they get the kill on Slayer. And Palantimos not going to fall this time, but was sitting a little low himself as well.
They both just sat there winding up their autos for so long, the Fire Spirits. They just sat there. I think they could have actually maybe backed up and like reset and maybe got the first blood, but they sit there, eat the damage, and it is Palantimos who gets the first blood too, probably the most appropriate one. He's got a Mask of Death. He's got his Morbid Mask already done. The Slayer's gonna bring it out on the Courier. So sure, he's suffering a little bit as we're seeing bottom.
Ooh, a cookie hop though. I'm not sure if it's going to be quite enough to save Pantaman, but looks like Ghostic is forced back as Jacho. Oh, he's looking. Can he get a couple more hits off? The Stoop is so very fast. And Pantaman has to be careful. They'll turn around. They might actually be able to get the kill. Down will go the Snapfire, and then Ghostic finally gets hunted down by the Wraith King.
Action lane down bottom. That's the fun one. The Doom with the increased armor actually able to tank decently versus that Snapfire Shredder.
I was very surprised that they tried to make the play on the Doom specifically for that reason. But I guess, you know, like you said, with the Snapfire having a little Shredder, being able to reduce that, trying to get these kills early on Doom is maybe one of their best bets.
Yep. We see 4-minute runes. Bignum, he's actually stacking at the same time as checking. Love it. Love to see that. Hard camp already triple stacked up for the Storm Spirit. And we will see on the other side, Yamich. He can't quite do the stack, but he will check a rune. They both will be able to secure themselves those water runes. And yes, I think this is actually just really important to point out is Palantimo's getting this early Morbid Mask because he gets first blood. I think that kind of changes that whole dynamic of top. Where Necro might be able to bully Morphling at the start, now it's just gone. Morphling's going to be able to free farm up here pretty much completely just because of that Morbid Mask and that first blood.
So what's the best way to play it now? Do we want to see just... All right, you can see that Yamich is TPing over to that middle. Oh, no, he cancels out the TP. Guess they're going to try to make some plays on Palantimos. Or try to save Cheshire Cat one way or the other.
I don't think that they can ever... I don't think you can really go for the kills or anything on Palantimos. If he does die, it's a pretty big mistake by him because he does have this solid start already. So I actually wanted to see Yamich finish TP. I actually want to see him go toward mid to slow down Storm, but now he might have already missed his window as Storm is going to clean up that triple stack we mentioned earlier, and now he's going to be 6. So the Tusk's movement for room... movement for room... Wow, my mouth is not working right now.
It's all right, dude. You're fine. Yeah,
the room for movement is not working now for the Tusk.
No worries. No worries. But yeah, no, that stack really, you know, coming in handy has really paid off for sure. And now things are going to start to look a little bit spooky for the side of Winstrike because Storm is, if he gets any really nice runes of opportunity, he is definitely going to make use of them, having that little bit of level advantage.
He could make a move to one of the side lanes if he deems necessary. He does have that point in the vortex, so if they see someone stepped up a bit too far, maybe, but if the lane's not in a good position, he'll probably just return mid. So he sees the lanes are not in a great spot. He's going to go defend mid since that catapult is there. And he's actually going to bring one more over, Bignum. Maybe
try to bait this Queen of Pain into getting the hop on him, but... You can also see Yamich making his own rotations. We're going to see some action in this mid lane, I think, soon. 6 minutes are up, though. Yeah, that's going to be a nice regen rune.
Very nice. Go farm. Now he can out farm that Quappa as he already kind of is doing. Very small, very slightly because of those stacks. And we see Ghostic. He finds himself a nice creep in this bottom lane. I didn't point it out before, but he did get that toughness aura from the Wild Wing. So that minus armor, not as effective anymore.
So about 6 minutes into the game, are we liking the way that, you know, the draft's really playing out over here on the side of Winstrike? Obviously, Unique has got to be really happy. Palantimos is pretty much unkillable here in the top lane. I know you mentioned you would have liked to see Yamich possibly make that rotation over to mid, but, you know, all in all, still feels fairly even.
Yeah, I think that's not in a great spot for Winstrike. I wanted them to get, you know, it's still very early, obviously, but I wanted them to get maybe a little bit more kills, a little bit more rotations, because the game is going to start kicking off where Morphling goes jungle. It's up to the onus is on you to start getting that pressure going. Storm is very elusive, so he can make these moves around. And look at, I'm just watching Slayer getting all these stacks up and ready for that Morphling. So I do feel like the pressure is going to be on them to make the moves.
All right, well. Let's see, Queen of Pain just picking up the bounty rune. I wouldn't be surprised to see her make a rotation here top, in fact. Looks like she's headed that way. Trying to figure out what she wants to do, actually. She's kind of running around in circles, but... No, looks like she's...
That's kind of what happens,
farm mid.
right? Because you want to gank the morph, but it's kind of obvious if you just head up there. Because you can surprise Palantimos as a Queen of Pain or that high burst damage from tree lines and stuff like that. You could try to get a kill, but doesn't want to leave mid either, because then FN is jungling and taking mid. So he doesn't want to get out-farmed, out-maximized on the Quap, but... Yeah, tough to know where he really wants to move as top.
Oh, yeah, but he was
overrolls.
trying, but he had... Oh, dear. Palantimo's turning himself into his own Tusk as well. Has made it very difficult for him to try to escape. But a little bit of a jump over here on the Queen of Pain. Oh, he's going to be... Oh, no! At the last second, Rabel is able to go pick up the Invis rune and possibly go top here. There's a lot of stacks in this jungle that look very tasty, but...
That could be the dream. I thought he might actually go in, because Morphs usually sit at that very low HP. If he just gets a Sonic Wave and a connection, he might be able to. But Palantimos, he's being careful. He's actually not sitting at 1 strength, because they know that Invis was there. He has a raindrop, so he's safe.
And he's got some nice wards that were placed down as well, so they can keep eyes on it. But again, over in the middle lane with the little rotation from the Lion, that is the first death of this Queen of Pain, and Bigum's got to be feeling very happy about that.
Oh, And that's the painful one. Queen of Pain dying once. You're already starting to get out-farmed from the 3 opposing cores. Your Necro and your Wraith King are doing great, but Quap is a hero. You know, this is your mid laner. I'm gonna say it, yeah, the second death. If he dies in the next like 5-10 minutes, I think it's gonna really just slow down Winstrike enormously. It's gonna be so much pressure on Dota2 to carry this game.
I mean, on the bright side of things, they have some really nice stacks going on coming out from the side of Unique over here. So that is obviously going to be a detriment here for Winstrike, but maybe they can sneak in. Maybe they can try to steal some of these stacks. I mean, they don't really have the greatest heroes though either, right?
No, they're very immobile. Like Necrophos walking into steal, that means like you're there. You once you commit on Necrophos, you're not gonna move out of that area, right? You're very slow. Queen of Pain can jump in and contest, but that's kind of it. So I feel like it's gonna be very hard for Winstrike to actually run into contest them. But like we said, the onus is on them. They probably still feel pretty decent because Dota2's having absolute free farm and the Necro's having a good time. But they need to start pressuring the Morphling. So Rebel, you know, this game is going to start getting pretty difficult for the Queen of Pain, as you know the decisions are there. You want to pressure, but you also want to try to farm for this Orchid, but you don't want to play the farm game versus Storm.
Right. Well, Rebel, not aware that Slayer's really hiding so tightly to that tree line. Looks like they're going to try to put some pressure down over in the bottom lane, too. Cookie hop over onto Ghost Stick. They realize, okay, no one else is here, so we can get a kill on this Doom. Possibly. It's not looking like they're going to be able to find the final hit. Snapfire Picasses go off. Ghost Stick does eventually fall, as Pantomime will pay for that. Having to stay put in one place. FN hoping to burn this reincarnation. It is up and running, though, over on Dota2. There's out the Wraithfire, another zip forward. That's going to be the reincarnation. FN's going to be feeling pretty happy about that due to the high cooldown. And look at this, they're trying to contest these stacks. And I like that they're trying to do this, but it is difficult.
It is. At least they know that FN made the move bottom, though. So Storm pretty low on mana. He actually can't run over and contest. So nice little rotation from Cheshire Cat, as they will also continue to pressure top. So some decent moves from Winstrike.
Definitely trying to do the most that they can with this efficiency here. Yeah, Mitch, they just keep trading back and forth here, trying to take down each other's wards. It's actually pretty ridiculous. But still have one sentry up top. They've got the courier trying to get a little vision. They're grouped up. Got a smoke play coming out from Unique, hoping maybe they can catch someone, maybe doom them. In fact, that is exactly what they're going to do, plus a finger. So down goes Cheshire Cat. And look how immediately they had teleported up to the top lane. They turn around now. They're like, all right. Yeah, we don't want to be there anymore.
That was I'm actually surprised they used the finger as well. I thought Bignum should save that one for the next kill, because Queen of Pain is such an easy target to go for a lot of times with finger. If you just get like any type of disable on her with finger, she will die. And they'd already used Doom, so maybe an over commitment for the kill, but nonetheless, they do get it. And I don't think Unique minds a slow-paced game too much at all. They just want to play a farm game. And if they're not the ones getting pressured, it's phenomenal. You know, they've got Doom, Morphling, Storm cores that are going to scale quite crazy, quite exponentially.
I mean, you say that about the finger, but at the same time, we have seen them go for a kill with just Storm plus Lion. Usually has a decent amount of damage and lockdown to take down the Queen of Pain. But little zip here from FN. Just gonna try to go up to high ground. Not gonna be able to get that regen rune, unfortunately. As Slayer, top lane, is forced to use the Icarus dive to fly away to safety.
It's always tough to make those decisions, right? Like, because you want the finger stack so badly,
right.
But I feel like, you know, you want to defend your towers, and it's a long cooldown. So now it's like Necro and Quap, they know finger's not up, right? So they can play a lot more risky. They can play a lot more stepped up because they don't have to be so wary of that burst.
Yes, it does feel a lot better to play Necrophos knowing that Finger of Death is not right now for Bignum, but the brave little Lion, he's running face first at them, but Dota2 is able to find some space over in the dire jungle. Just have to be careful because you do have a smoke coming out as they make their way towards him.
The ward, that area, right? Like you said, they've been battling over that high ground with sentries and obs. They actually still do have that sneaky obs over on the left, so this might actually net them a really big pickup here.
No reincarnation available. It's already been burnt. The Icarus dive forward. The Sun Ray, the Vortex right on in there, and FN kills the king. But in comes Winstrike. They're all smoked up. They've got the Mortimer Kisses online, but they just don't have stuff to be able to hold people in place super well. Pantomime.
They broke.
Yeah, they see Bignum. They figure, okay, we can get this position 5. We can jump in there, and we can get a quick kill. But the others, a lot more difficult to take down.
Not the most ideal target by any means with a 3 or 4 man rotation.
Are they going to go back in? Look at the way that FN's playing.
He's thinking about it.
They still have the... I don't know.
They still have that ward, so they really are they're playing around that vision, just trying to catch anything. But they're farming. Palantimos is probably telling them, guys, you know, I'm morphling. Like I'm having an absolute free game. Ghost Stick as well. Doom is back available, and he's already got Blink. So now even more ways to set up, even more ways to be sure and ensure that they can get the Doom either onto that Queen of Pain or the Necrophos.
So basically, Palantimos is just saying, everybody chill.
Yeah,
Everybody chill out for now. Just enjoy the farm. Just vibe, you know, and don't worry. I got this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's going to have Manta early timing. I think a good pickup for him would be like the Scotty second, since he's playing versus some healing and stuff like that, if he wants to. He has a lot of items that he can go as a Morphling this game that will be very valuable. But yeah, Unique must be feeling in such a good position right now when like all their ults are now back up online. You're not getting pressured on your side at all. Sure, you lost your mid and your top tower, which that's kind of, it feels a little bit bad, but that's, you know, that's going to happen when you've gone so greedy. Storm, Doom, and Morphling cores, it's a very greedy setup for them, and it's already worked out now with a 1k advantage at 14.
Would you like to see the Spirit Vessel picked up before the Phoenix picks up the Euls, or is it better to get like some of these smaller pieces? Ooh,
I'm okay with him getting a defensive versus the Orchid that's coming out on Quap. I think it's really good.
Okay. Be interested to see if they do a counter smoke here, as they have successfully dodged the jump coming out from Winstrike.
And Rebel, he has the Orchid, so he is strong if he finds any of these heroes isolated. Pretty much anybody on the side of Unique, if they get caught out from the Quap by themselves, they will die, but Unique's not giving them that opportunity. They're sticking together, playing around that Morphling, especially playing like just keeping Palantimos safe until he has Manta. When he has Manta, no more fear for this Morphling pretty much at all in this game, because that Orchid is going to be full countered, and then that's when it really feels like Winstrike's timer starts ticking quite quickly. They need to start making these moves before that Manta does kick off, but they're not able to.
They're hunting, though. Look at this. You can see three of the players know that the Queen of Pain was up top, hoping maybe they can catch her up. Maybe they can bait, but not seeming
Looks like they
to
might
take
bait.
it. They're trying.
Yeah,
you can see the Storm over here is playing very forward, but Rebel, oh no. There's immediately, oh, can they find her over to the corner? There it is, the Doom, the Vortex. Their patience pays off as they find themselves yet another kill here on the Queen of Pain.
Hey, I mean, that's the second death. That's the painful one.
That's
where
rough.
You've got your Orchid, you revealed it, and you still die without getting yourself even a kill. If he gets a trade, it doesn't feel as bad, of course, but that one has to feel quite grim as now. They're trying to run in as 4 onto this high ground here.
I mean, they have a double damage.
This is kind of a forced... Yeah.
So perhaps they feel like, you know, all right, maybe we can catch him. There's no Doom. So there it is, the Scythe like you talked about, and it's enough burst damage to take down Palantimos.
Nice. The Scythe to set up. I know Owen was the one saying, you know, there's so many telegraphed stuns on the side of Winstrike. If they get it like that from tree sides, they can't actually get him. So that's, as the Manta is finished, he gets picked up. So a nice direct hit from Winstrike.
Definitely realizing what they need to do, when they need to do it in this particular case. But yes, the Manta's online. It's going to get much harder for them to try to get the jump on Palantimos. But Winstrike, you know, a very nice hit coming out here.
And perhaps, you know, Dyrachyo, he's still having such a good game that there is perhaps, you know, the small inkling that he can actually carry this game by himself. Like, he is quite massive, and he's into Doom, so it's a good matchup for the Wraith King in that sense. If they can just delete the Morphling, he can have a great time inside of those fights, but still a tall order to ask for. But Radiance is going to be up quite soon, so he's probably feeling very good about himself.
I guess my concern is that this Wraith King, you know, standing at the top of the net worth still, looking very, very nice. But I'm worried that the rest of his team's starting to fall a bit too far behind. So,
agreed.
You know, yeah, he survives the initial jump, but the rest of the team either is not going to survive or they're going to have to back. And then, you know, Unique, who is in a slightly better position here, is just going to be able to keep rolling over him.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree. It's going to be a very tall order for Dyrachyo to carry this game. And it's so weird to say, right? Because it's 5 to 8. Like, they actually still have a gold advantage, but you can feel just that Unique draft, like how greedy it is, just paying off into all this. Like, it's going to just get stronger and stronger and stronger as the game progresses. And they've actually gone greedy. They've got like this really interesting build that I saw China doing actually on Storm Spirit. He went Kaya Sange. So no Orchid. You don't actually go for this timing on Storm Spirit. You play the full farm game. You play around status resist.
Huh.
Saw this a couple times now actually in the, I think either SEA or in China. I was watching a couple of the games.
That's interesting. Well, Winstrike though, they know that they can take this Roche right now. No one is paying attention to them. They've got some
This is
very
great.
nice vision up and around the pit, so they're going to go and secure themselves an Aegis. And I'm guessing probably for the Quap. What do you think?
She might need it, yeah.
Yeah, just because she's
is-
having a difficult time staying alive throughout these engagements.
This is a huge move. Like these wards that they placed, they have this deep ward up top that they placed earlier with their smoke rotation, and then they have this deep ward bottom to watch the Morphling and the one around the Roche bit. They just had so much information. They sneak it completely. Like, Unique, if they knew that was going on, they'd go fight there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, completely sneaking it in. Really nice move.
They just have really good vision coming out from the side of Winstrike.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, Mitch hunting for Ghost Stick. Actually does manage to find him, but they're not going to be able to go and cancel out that teleport. So this tower belonging to Winstrike, as it doesn't seem that they want to try to contest it. In fact, just looking maybe for a trade here in this bottom lane as Palantimos is waiting.
Nice ward again. Pentoen puts a ward behind this tier 2 top. So yeah, too hard for Unique to set up around there. And yeah, Winstrike with some big power spikes. And Cheshire Cat, he's going to set up to the tier 3 here. He has his hood locked. He has a nether shawl, and he has, you know, the rest of that pipe finished inside of his backpack. So he's going to be super tanky if he's able to get these off. His magic resistance is actually quite ridiculous right now, 54%.
That's exactly the way he needs to play this here. This Phoenix has to be sweating a little bit, considering the fact they have very good vision. But Slayer, he's going to teleport out. I think he wasn't sure. He's like, oh, guys, you know, should we take this? But seeing 3 of them there, deciding to just back off.
Did his ward catch glimpse of the smoke there for a second? Because he instantly TP'd back to his team when the smoke happened. So I think that they're aware of this. They're setting up on the
Right
high
the
ground
cusp.
here.
Full
Okay.
pipe completed now for Necro. Here they go. Up to the high ground. Winstrike on the hunt. And look at the way, though, that Unique is just immediately backing up. Palantimos is still over on the bottom. Slayer is going to get just spotted immediately. The silence. He's waiting, hoping no. At the last second, they actually used the side for him, though. So I think Unique is very happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long cooldown. Phoenix is going to be back up if they want to look to try to fight around this. But Winstrike, with a kill, they can set up for an objective. So that's probably what their biggest thing that they're looking at. This isn't an Aegis to win the game. This is an Aegis for them to secure heavy positioning around the map as they find Bignum as well.
Yeah, gets a nice Earth Spike off, but okay, Ghost Stick decides he wants to go back in. They got the finger, but look at these kisses coming out from Snapfire. They're going to be able to protect Yamage, although no, FN zipping on in. So the BKB popped over on Ghost Stick. Palantimos now is looking to hide underneath his tower.
But Winstrike hit hard. They dive forward, get 2 kills, also get the tower now as well from these movements. And yeah, the Reaper Scythe, it's going to be back up in about 70 seconds, so they can patiently back up. They've done some, some very nice objective damage here.
Definitely moving as one cohesive unit. Looks very, very nice. Again, it was looking a bit dicey for the Quap, but he's, you know, it doesn't have to be a lone wolf all the time. Sometimes just fighting with the rest of the team is enough to keep you back in the game.
Yeah, I can't believe how farmed Dyrachyo is during all this. Like, he's 2,300 gold above the Morphling. That one kill they got on Palantimos completely slowed him down, and now they get another objective. Are they even going to threaten the high ground?
I think they are. I mean, why not, you know? You have to be careful, though. The Doom, of course,
high ground's scary.
Is still available, and they do have the Phoenix Egg, but they're feeling very, very powerful right now. Zip in, immediate silence over onto Phoenix, so he can't stop, can't go for any sort of egg or anything like that. And look at the damage that they can just dish out over on the tower, and they're not able to do much of anything.
They actually got the whole thing already. Dyrachyo.
Yeah, he's gone a little far. There's going to be the blink forward here coming out from Ghost Stick, and they do get the Doom up, but the Quickie will save him. And now Ghost Stick is just totally separated from the rest of his team. Sonic Wave coming through. Look at the damage from the little Shredders. Pentoen finds the kill. And now, over on the side, Tusk using a little bit of time here, using that snowball. But Dyrachyo, he's still alive. They're still doing damage, and we still have Cheshire Cat alive after that initial Doom. He's absolutely fine here. They do eventually take down the Wraith King, but it took a lot to get to that point, and they lost Ghost Stick and Bignum during this process. Are they going to go back in? Yes, they are. Okay, all right. That's a cooked chicken right there.
They're going to get a range Rex. I don't know if they can stick for the melee, though. They're going to try.
They're going to try. I mean, they've got the Aegis still online here. What? Not a lot of mana left over Rebel.
They're actually going to be able to get the Rex. Wow.
Okay, Palantimos hoping he can get the jump on anyone. Cheshire Cat will get dragged back. A Cookie pop forward, though. And the spike will connect. The zip forward. They want to follow this up, though. Cheshire Cat is still alive. And look at these Snapfire Kisses coming out. Just making them scatter. Eventually, though, Cheshire Cat will fall. Snowball buying a little bit more time as they'll go connect over onto FN. This Aegis is about to be reclaimed, though, Fog. You have to be very, very careful. 3,
They're
2,
timing it.
1. They're waiting so patiently.
They got it.
And they should be able to kill Rebel there. And the stop. What? Is it just a little bit off? How close was that?
That had to have been right on the edge of it.
Oh my gosh.
Like 255 or something. Like, honestly, that was right at the edge of it.
I can't believe that didn't
nice
connect.
hit. Yeah, that was close. A nice hit by Winstrike, though. That was actually, I'm so surprised how much they pushed forward it, but that's actually what they need to do with their draft. Push the limits because they know that they are on a bit of a timer this game. That was a sick play. Overall, just them pushing forward, but also Unique with a nice strike back. Ghost Stick, he jumps in the back line, kind of gives his life for the team to isolate that Wraith King. We see Yamage comes in with a nice snowball to potentially almost save him, but the damage was done. Unique did isolate that Wraith King completely, and then, yeah, great patience on that Aegis.
Got the countdown on the Aegis, though. Because we saw that, a couple days ago where they were like, 2 seconds off or something? Yeah, look at that
It was
stomp.
like, yeah, 2.5, 3 seconds, and that really looked like it hit.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised.
I swear we've seen a couple things like that lately. Like the coil from the other day from Miracle. All of us were like talking about, like, how the hell did that not clip more heroes? Just sometimes perspective makes it look that much closer.
I guess. All right, Winstrike, though, with a very farmed Wraith King, is taking a commanding lead here.
I'm impressed with the way that they're able to do it so far, too. Like, it's just a small 2K lead, and they're still just pressing forward here because of all this minus armor, because of all this buff up on this huge Wraith King. They're actually bringing it to Unique, and Unique is probably still a little scared here as they've already lost to Rex. Even though their draft still continues to scale very strong, it puts pressure on that bottom side constantly.
Positioning coming out here from Unique. Does feel like they want to fight. They have the Scotty completed for Palantimo, so that's going to help negate some of that healing, but it doesn't feel like they're going to fall for it. They're like, all right, we're just going to back off for now. We had a really good hit. Maybe we'll wait until the next Roche, but for now, yeah, they still have that middle tower up as well. Gotta be feeling pretty good on Winstrike.
Yeah, you've only lost bottom tower. Like, nothing else has really been touched too much. You've kind of constricted Unique to their side of the map the entire time of this game so far.
Ooh, big smoke coming out from the side of Winstrike.
BKB on Wraith King just finished as well. And a DD. Wait, Pantoman just steals it. I think he misclicked. Oh well.
You gotta hope that he misclicked because he's not just Duracho opening up with the Walrus Punch. They've got those BKBs online. It's a nice egg as well. So they just chase down Duracho, and they have just a split fight going on. Egg will pop. That's going to be the first life of the Wraith King.
Rebel?
The Doom came out, though, so Cheshire Cat falls. Rebel also to fall, though, too, as FN is just chasing them. They get these nice stomps off. Duracho eventually falling, and Pantoman, one more boop. It's a triple kill now for FN.
5 for 0. Perfect setup from Unique. They just jump in. FN gets jumped, but it doesn't matter. They jump into the backline with the rest of their heroes. The egg comes down, Wraith King isolated, and for Winstrike making such a good move on bottom, I think their time has come. The Morphling, he's got the Scotty. He's so strong, and the way that they take that fight around the Phoenix, just perfect from Unique.
Our poor observer trying to watch that entire fight. There are just too many things happening at once, but it was perfect. It was just really nice chaos coming out from Unique, finding these vulnerable positions, and then just striking. No pun intended.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a high ground. They had the high ground. Perfect high ground advantage, even with a ward. So as soon as the fight kicks off, they see everything. They see the entire fight. Like that ward on the right side, they get the Doom on the Necrophos, so he's completely out of the fight. It kind of feels like all of Winstrike was controlled in this fight. Because even the Quap blinks in with BKB to help hit the egg, and then gets hit by the egg too, stunned during our old BKB. A disaster, really, for Winstrike, as Unique just smashes the fight.
And very nice positioning, and just, it almost looked really nice going over for the side of Winstrike with the way that they swung around. They're like, okay, we're going to be sneaky about it. It also almost makes you wonder a little bit about that double damage rune, if it would have made that big of a difference as well if Pantoman had not accidentally picked that up.
Nah, they got jumped perfectly. CC'd. He didn't even get an attack. Like, the only thing he hit in that fight was egg. I think he hit it like 4 or 5 times, and that was literally his entire contribution. It was just a perfect jump. Unique just had way too good of positioning, and Winstrike, they probably have one more good fight in them. If they can win the next fight, they can still have a chance in this game, but that next fight, it's going to be absolutely everything, and they're hoping it's around Roche. So let's see what that timer is.
The fight's about
It's
to come
20
to them.
seconds.
Ooh, it's a good scan, though. They realize that they're on their way, so perhaps they can set up. They do have
Palantimos.
all the ults back up. They're hunting. Palantimos.
Doom is back in 10 seconds.
All right, the stun comes out immediately. Look at them. They're waiting. They're being very patient here. They figure, okay, if they're around the pit, there's got to be more people here. Can we lure them over? But looks like Dota2's just going to walk back over to this mid lane, hit some of these creeps. And the rest of the side of Unique is now struggling to find how they want to get into this area, although smoke comes out from the side of Winstrike. Roshan is indeed up now, so this is going to be a big fight for them. If they can secure that Rosh advantage, it's going to be very, very good.
Let's see if they can get a jump. Palantimos is the one just face tanking it.
Oh.
They actually dived to break the smoke.
The dive, yes, it did. Immediate silence, though. The hit, the follow-up, and we're on with look at the Sunray is doing so much. The Finger of Death comes out. Rabel, though, falls. Yamage Pantome also now down. As Dota2 trying to run, he can't run fast enough with the Scotty. They'll clean up with the egg over in back line. Chish to fall, and Dota2, oh, that's a dead Wraith King. It's a team wipe.
I'd like to highlight that Big Gnome lands a 3-man stun beautifully along the connection of the Sunray. Perfect by Unique. Perfect read. They knew exactly where Winstrike was. They have Palantimos in the front. Super tanky Morphling. Slayer gets the dive, breaks the smoke, and from there, it's just a highlight reel for Unique really inside that fight. FN perfectly positioned in the back.
Look at that.
Look at that. 3-man stun into, look at the whole Sunray. And then he turns into the egg too on top with the Sunray connecting. Picture perfect.
They're just like little ducks in a row, all 4 of them during that.
You can feel that, you know that they're under pressure, right? That's why they're doing that type of play. That's why they all stick together and run into. Stuff like that will happen when you know the way that the game state is getting, the way it's kind of happened. Even though you got that early racks always going pretty well for you, you know the way that these heroes scale, and yeah, 1 or 2 slight mistakes like that where you stack up will be really problematic. As FN, can he get an arcane?
Nope, he's gonna get silenced as well. Does have the BKB back up and running, but they'll stun him and just force him away. He'll be able to grab the bounty rune at the very least, but definitely not how you want to be using that BKB.
It just came back up too, like literally 1 second from when he got jumped there. There's actually a chance he dies if it's not that exact moment where it comes up, but we'll be safe. Finishes up the Bloodthorn. Continuing to scale quite heavily on the side of Unique.
They're still holding on to the Agnum Shard too over here on the Phoenix, which is kind of interesting. I'm guessing they're going to hand it over to Storm, if I had to guess.
Yeah. It's really strong with Morphling. Speed that you attack with the Overload.
And they pick up a gem as well, so all of that vision. And I have to say, Winstrike has had wonderful vision throughout most of this game, but now it's going to be ripped down by Slayer.
I think they actually had the vision advantage for the majority of this one too. Like the way that they set up wards around where they were making moves, and just like the way they even smoked around that vision, it was really nice from Winstrike. But just a couple rough moves in the last 2 team fights going completely dominant in Unique's favor. Now they don't know what to do. I'm sure they're feeling that like that completely. Like everyone's just kind of sitting around near each other, not really knowing how they want to approach the next fight, because it's into Aegis, it's into Cheese, and their heroes just don't fight into these heroes anymore the same.
But you feel bad for Dota2 because of the fact he had such a good laning phase. He was looking very dominant, very far ahead, and managed to get an early, advantage. Maybe not as early during the laning stage as you and I both would have liked, but once they hit a certain item timing, it was just foot on the gas pedal without letting up.
Yeah,
but
that's
they've stalled now.
nature
They've run
of
out of
matchups.
gas, it feels like a little bit.
They have. They did open up with this Wraith King very early in the draft, right? It was first 2 pick to counteract the Doom. And I think Unique set themselves up really nice to counter that Wraith King. Phoenix overall in the game, sure, he was countered by Snapfire. We actually haven't seen that happen once this game, by the way, the little Shredder interaction with the egg. He's actually completely owned the Wraith King, I feel like, in every single one of these fights that they've had.
I feel like it's a situation where, they're trying to stand very far back in terms of like having the Snapfire be able to get the ultimate off, but because they're sitting so far back, then the Phoenix is able to position themselves just even further away, so the Snapfire cannot use that little Shredder to that maximum capability.
They just have they have more natural forms of initiation and ways to get into backline. That's always what happens when you pick a non-traditional offlaner like a Necrophos, right? Like Doom he blinks in the back, he stuns Dooms. Necrophos has to just walk in, as we see Palantimos.
Yeah, look at this. They immediately follow up. Good snowball though, buys a little bit more time. They'll use those BKBs. They're just being held in place here. It's a beautiful Icarus dive, plus the egg on top of it, and the Sun Ray. And they're just dishing out the damage, but it's not enough to protect the egg this time around. Sonic Wave coming out. They use the Doom over onto the Quap. She will fall. Reincarnation is down now on the Wraith King. It looks like they want to back out, though. Ghost Stick forced to go and pop that BKB. Just doesn't want to stay here anymore. The rest of the team is in position, though. They could go right back up again. They've got the Lotus. Palantimos has to be careful. He's stunned up. There's going to be the roll back in, but over on the back lines, FN finds a kill on Rabel, and Palantimos, he's still alive and kicking. He's got that Satanic. He's just doing so much damage, and his hands are tied right now, but they're going to be untied in just a moment, Fogged, and I have a feeling these buildings are just going to crumble.
Yes, they are. And Rebel, the poor Quap, this is just matchup, nature of matchup things.
Yeah.
He jumps in, Bignum is a lion. He stuns him, hexes him, and then the rest of the team cleans him up. And that's your mid player just getting countered from what, like pretty much the 4/5 position, just those chain stuns.
Sunray, again, they just keep trying to disarm this Morphling, but the rest of his team, they're there. They've got good sustain, so they'll throw a cookie hop over there on the Morphling, but he's still just focusing down these buildings along with FN. They've got great jump. I don't know
they
how
can't
they
hurt
get
him
in
anymore.
There. Yeah, I mean, you talked about it. They don't have the most traditional of initiation, so they'll keep trying to just get their hands on Palantimos, but they don't have anything really to just instantly seize him other than that scythe.
Yeah, it's been like one of the freer morph games that I feel like you can get. As we said, like the Reaper Scythe is the only death that he had when they initiated on him from the tree line to set it up with all the rest of the stuns. But besides that, it's just too tough to execute. It really is for the side of Winstrike. I think the draft from Unique just, it really ticked all boxes with what they're playing up against. Winstrike, they had a timer, the timing was hit, and now the game is kind of just chaos. They have to hope that Unique makes a really bad move for them to come back. It's
very scary because they're 21K ahead right now over on the side of Unique, and they can pretty much do whatever they like at this point, whereas, Winstrike has to set up a very elaborate battle plan, it feels, to find any sort of foot at this point.
I mean, it's Cheshire Cat, right? Like, they need to get a Reaper Scythe, they need to kill a target instantly and somehow outnumber the team fight, but even then, it's so difficult. Unique is prepared time and time again for all these jumps. What does FN got now? FN almost has his Lincolns too, so more ways to protect himself just in case versus that Reaper. And they can continue to, like, they can even go multiple Lincolns if they want to do something like that, since it's so good versus Reaper, versus a lot of these target abilities that Winstrike does have as the final racks. Unique, they have it set.
Look at how bold Palantimos is here. Just no cares, just running right at Duratio. We have a refresher now over on Doom. We're going to have double Doom.
Oh, he popped it, actually. He insta-popped it when he picked it up. So he'll just have the one Doom for the next fight, unless it's in, 90 seconds.
Right. I think they really want to put the pressure down, though.
They want to win on the next Doom. That's what that tells me when he refreshes it early.
Tower going down. There's not a whole heck of a lot that they can do, although Winstrike is trying to make some plays here, perhaps. No, they're looking to grab the bounty rune. You can see Duratio already
like,
just hightailing it out like, haha, I got it. Please don't kill me. Oh, God.
I love that. The team's like, yo, we need a little bit of gold. And he's like, guys, I got it. 100 gold for everybody.
No problem.
Jumping into the high ground.
That's what a core does. He supports and, he provides for his team.
Unless he dies there.
Unless he dies, then the team all flames him. And
dies in a very bad spot.
Ezra, I mean, he's got a second life, I'm sure. Sure, they do something with that, They give, Unique more time to have that other Doom up. Oof.
Maybe. It is going to be back. It is going to be up, so they will have double Doom for the fight. So there's no downside to Unique waiting. Their draft just continues getting that much better with what they're up against. They got all these items. Winstrike trapped in their base. They can't even get their tier 4 items. Got a nice leveler for FN. He's about to hit 25 on the Storm Spirit too. Morphling also quite close, and Bignum just fingered a creep.
All right. You can tell they're definitely having a great time playing this game. They're feeling like it's firmly in the palm of their hand. Winstrike, though, they're smoked up behind their Wraith King.
I mean, that's still some confidence. But Bignum just, I know, like, they definitely feel like this game is over because their draft is so good in these later stages, but still, like, just fingers a creep. Come on, Bignum.
The worst is when you're, like, you've been working on a creep for so long, and then somebody just walks over and just, Laguna Blades your creep, or, fingers of death your creep. Granted, he is a support this time around, so probably not as bad, but definitely always drives me crazy.
No, it definitely does feel I hate when people, you're a Crystal Maiden, you frostbite the creep, you're working on it for 12 seconds or 10 seconds, and someone just runs over and just, a jug just blade attacks it. You know, God, thanks.
Oh, man. The rest of Winstrike is, has returned home other than the Wraith King. Wraith King trying to find some farm on the map wherever he can. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, he's doing a very decent job of finding it and not dying. It's just so hard because the rest of the team has not had the impact that that they wanted, especially, you know, this Queen of Plane. It has just been such a difficult game for her against all of these heroes that they've drafted on Unique.
Yeah.
This is a very brave Wraith King. Very brave Wraith King. Oh my goodness.
He's feeling a bit strong because he has Abyssal Blade, so they actually have like a point-click disable. If he blink Abyssals, maybe they can chain stun somebody down. I think that's what he's trying to go for.
Yeah, but there's no vision over there. That's so scary.
No, there is not. He'd have to go fully blind into the high ground versus a very strong team fight lineup. And FN also has a DD rune, has hit 25, so we've got the attack bounces with the Overlord, with the Shard. So some fun maybe coming into play in this next team fight for Unique. As heroes are going to die fast.
All right, they're all hiding in the trees. Try to make some plays on Dota2 over on the back line, though, immediately. Walrus punch with the force forward here, coming out from Bignum. They use the roar, but Rabel just goes down almost immediately. Sunray coming out from this egg. You see Pantoma trying to put some damage on his Yamich, falls on the back line. And Dota2, he's just chasing after Bignum. He cannot do it, though. The GG gets called. And it just seems like Unique had just the better draft and kind of did a gotcha with the Morphling pick here.